One sec.
Maybe it takes up the whole room.
Is it working, guys?
Wow.
Is what working? Are we live?
Live. Sophisticated mama. How are you guys? Sorry about before. We man, that was crazy. That was crazy.
You were just singing songs.
That's it.
Far out, man. You know what? If I learnt one thing about this weekend, is never let Johnny G tip for your team.
It's going to be a pick on me show, 100%.
Pick on Johnny G team. Never let him do that, because what happens is, and never let Jimmy T go to a game that you support, because you just lose. But
Yeah,
boys,
Jimmy T, Grace.
But boys, how you going? Johnny G,
Good.
how you been, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Interesting round of football, and I'm here to talk about it.
And also, guys, we've got the King of the North.
The King of the North.
G'day, everybody, and yeah, good weekend of footy as well.
Far out, man. Oh, we're going to talk about the tipping later, but there's some big news on the tips with the King of the North. But yeah, so make sure you stay here for those big news. But anyway, we've got a few in the chat. GT23 has been there from the start. How you going, GT? We've got Zakal, as always, talking about NRL in the AFL chat. What a legend. We got Don't At Me, my favourite Crow supporter, Don't At Me, and Jimmy T, the nearly appointed special guest, Jimmy T.
Very nice.
Welcome, brother.
So yeah, guys, let me just show you exactly what we all are this week. Where that's what we are. That's what we are, guys. So, guys, before we start, make sure if you're brand new to the show, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and yeah, guys, let's get it. So, what do you think of the round? Just a quick snap of what do you think of the round so far. Do you think it was better than round one? Any surprises? Johnny G, what do you reckon?
A few surprises. It was a good round of football. A few good watches. Disappointing with the two Adelaide teams, obviously. Few upsets, and yeah, so we'll go through it one by one.
Yeah,
and have a comment on them, and yeah, go from there.
And Goff, King of the North, what anything you want to put there?
Oh, I just think that it's really high class footy from both sides when they're playing. in round 2. Much improved from round 1. A lot less mistakes, and I think it's going to be very hard to tip a winner this year as we go through the year because they're pretty even.
I'm just pissed off at the umpires. It's just like there's some bad calls on the weekend. Not just the game, not just my game, but yeah, I just think the umpiring was a bit shot on the weekend. But anyway, guys, look, we'll get into it straight away. So, look, the first game was on Thursday night. The good old Navy Blues took on the Premiers in Geelong. It was a good game, actually. It's Carlton actually had control of that game for most of it, but Geelong did come back with a bit of a wet sail at the end. But the score was 1982, guys. How did you see this one play out?
Yeah, Carlton looked a better team for the whole game, I reckon. They had more of the ball. Geelong came into it towards the end there. For standout for Geelong was Cameron, I think, just keeping him in the game, really. He was a standout for them. He kicked 6 goals. But Carlton looked good, man. They look really good. And even without Walsh and Hewitt, they did the job. And they're looking like a contender already.
Yeah, Harry Mackay up forward looked great. Curnow he looked 5 goals, I reckon he scored. Have you got the stats there, Johnny?
Yeah, no one hit the 30 posies. It was Sard on 29, Cripps got 27, and the rest are all about 25s. But goal kickers, yeah, Curnow kicked a bag with 5, and obviously Cameron with 6. But Curnow is looking really good and dangerous down there. And it really helps to have another tall forward, McKay, next to him to, give him more space. And, because you've got 2 tall forwards you've got to worry about down there, and Curnow's really feeling the benefit of having that extra man down there.
Yeah, and their back line as well. Their supply from the back line, they're getting good supply with Doherty and a few others down there, and Cripps played his part as well. I think Geelong looked really slow at times. Like I remember vividly watching Tui. He had the ball on the wing. It looked like he was in slow motion, and he just got wrapped up really easily. But yeah, I just think they're a lot quicker. Carlton, Geelong, yeah, I just think they're on a hangover. They're very lucky, Geelong. They got some easy games coming up, so their season I reckon, it's going to spark up a bit. But yeah, I wouldn't want them to play like a Collingwood next week or a real tough team because Geelong, yeah, they're like in second gear. You know what I mean? They're not, but
They are, yeah. No, I was at the game, and there was 55,000 there. It was a pretty good crowd as well. But yeah, Carlton were just chasing the ball. They were all running together, and they're just quick and they're backing each other up. And Geelong, like throughout the game, were just slower, bigger, and they're just on the field. They look bigger and slower. So yeah. The Carlton have just a bit of a younger, speedier. So yeah, it was good, but they did come back. You can never let your guard down because they were only 10 behind in the last quarter, so they could have easily taken it. But no, good game. It was a very good game.
Yeah. What was the atmosphere like, King? What was it like over there? Was it really good atmosphere? Yeah.
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 Majority Carlton supporters because it was a Carlton home game. So yeah, but yeah, Geelong supporters don't seem to like to travel on a Thursday night. It doesn't look like. So yeah, the atmosphere was really good and everybody was up and about. So yeah, it was good.
Oh, well, I'm glad you had a good time, man. Glad it worked out good. But all right, well, we see as Blues as probably a contender. The Cats, look, we'll see where they are in a couple of weeks. They are going to be playing some really, yeah.
So Cats are winless. Do we still have them in the top 4?
Definitely top 8, but I don't know about top 4. Don't know about that. I don't know.
They'll still make the 8?
I think they'll still make the 8 because they've got a few winnable games coming up, and I think once they win those games, they're going to get rolling. You know what I mean? They'll start to get rolling. But then again, I don't know. Like without Selwood, we said it last week. Selwood is like the heart and soul of that club. So losing Selwood is huge. So, but
yeah, but if those two forwards are firing together on a day, they can be kicking 10 goals, 12 goals. So
yeah. All right. Well, we'll go to the next game now. We did have some bets. We did have the bets going on this game, didn't we, Johnny? I wasn't going to bring it. But we're going to apologise to everyone. We did try our best. We'll try again next week, guys. So if you want to get on board, we'll promote it soon. But yeah,
gotta keep trying. Keep trying.
You know, I couldn't stand Stengel. Stengel, we hate Stengel, don't we, Johnny?
Hate Stengel and Rich.
Stengel and Rich. All right. So the next game was on Friday night. It was the Brisbane Lions taking on the Melbourne Demons. There was a power failure, on that night, and it went on. Went for ages.
Big talking point, yeah.
It was, and like they were like, I think, it was Brisbane were up like 40 points at that point. There was like 12 minutes to go, and Melbourne just banged on 6 goals out of nowhere, and the deficit wasn't as big, but this was a really shit game. Like, it was a boring game. I don't know, the style of play that Brisbane were playing was really boring. I just did not like. I just did not find any enjoyment watching it. Melbourne looked second rate. Like, they looked like a superstar team last week against the Bulldogs. This week without Gawn, because Gawn went down with an injury. No Cozzy Pickett. Melbourne looks second rate. Brisbane, I don't think they're as good as we think they are. But bringing back Zorko was a big plus. I think he played really well. And just they were just getting easy goals from like stoppages and stuff in their 50s and stuff like snaps. That's how they were getting their goals. So I wouldn't say it's clinical performance, but what do you guys think?
The coffee, you want to go?
Yeah, I don't know. They just going by. If you're looking at a bit of form and watch the Bulldogs as well, it was Melbourne's form was pretty good because they did Bulldogs pretty easy. So you'd think they would go better than they did, even though that Brisbane are back on their home ground. But yeah, it was just they've got like a star-studded team, that Brisbane side, and it just doesn't. They're not clicking yet. So if they do, then it might be a different story. But I don't know. They've both sides. Melbourne back in Melbourne will go quite well, but we'll have to see whether Brisbane actually can put it together, because they have got a pretty star-studded side.
They do.
Yeah. Oliver got 37 touches that night and still lost. A big standout for me was Will Ashcroft. He had 31 touches and a goal for the youngster, so he's primed up for the NAB Rising Star. But Benny Brown kicked another 4 goals 2 weeks in a row, and Danaher kicked 4. But like you mentioned before, Zorko was 2 goals and 22 disposals, was a big difference. It wasn't the best game to watch. I was watching it from work, and the most exciting thing was the lights going out. So,
it came a day early.
Should they have gone and finished the game, you reckon? Like, should they have gone back out there after a big break like that?
Game was over already. I mean, you know what? They nearly pinched it at the end, Melbourne. But I don't know, man.
It's a long night if you keep on going after the blackout.
It is. You got a few people in the chat. So sorry I haven't read it, guys. So Jimmy T goes, "We are sick of them playing one quarter of football." They're talking about Adelaide. We'll get to Adelaide, guys. Just wait.
Take it easy, Father Jim.
Well, before we get to Adelaide, it's your mob.
Well, you know how there was a power failure in Brisbane. There was definitely a power failure.
There was a power failure,
at the MCG. Um,
I didn't
Nah,
realize
man, look.
I didn't realize it was 71 points in the end.
Monster defeat. Yeah.
I was watching because like Johnny G rings me up and goes, "I'm going to tip Port." I go, "Don't tip Port because I know if you tip them, they're going to lose." And what he do? He tipped them,
That's what
and
Jimmy
they
does as
lost.
well.
And not only did they lose, they lost in like a fashion that you've never seen before. Like,
I'm glad I lost my tip for that justice.
how can I want to talk to Ken Hinkley? Ken Hinkley, how can you go from 1 week being positive in your contested possession? Well, I think we're like 30 or 40 plus to 50 negative 50 the next week. It doesn't make sense. Does not make sense. You've got a few weeks to fix it. It starts this week against the Crows. It's not an easy game. You've lost burden for 2 weeks now. What are you going to do? This is where you got to stand up and go, come on. You guys know you can play, and you got outplayed. If you looked at the matchups, Dixon should have been all over that defense, and our defense was the worst. And Dixon actually played he was probably our best player out of everyone, and that says a lot, man. So I was pissed off, and it's the same shit every year. Every single year, it's the same shit, and this is why people don't want you at the club because that's what we get every year. We go
So
good, and then it's like bullshit.
You're Hinkley out, is it?
Look, I'm not going to say Hinkley out yet because it's only round 2, so there's a lot of time to fix it. But I've just seen this before too many times, and it's like it's not good enough. Look, I was prepared to lose, no worries, lose fine, but lose with dignity, man. Fucking put some effort in. Don't be minus 50 in the contested ball. That's every time the ball was contested, they won it 50 times more. That's ridiculous. That's a smashing. Like, how could we go from week 1 playing Brisbane to that? Like, is it a mental thing? What is it? Is Collingwood that good, Johnny? Is Collingwood that good?
Collingwood that good.
I think Collingwood might be the real deal this year. Look at the spread of goal kickers. It's unbelievable. I don't know how many goal kickers they had, but they were getting goals from everywhere around the pitch. And they just ran all over Port, man. Just like they ran over Geelong, they ran over Port.
We had no answers, man. Nothing. Like, the ball hit the deck, they win everything. And look, I'll tell you now, the first 10 minutes of the game, I thought, oh, we're on. Because we looked on, but silly free kicks against us, like real silly free kicks. There were some that weren't there. There were some holding the ball decisions that weren't there. There were some, but you can't blame the umpires for 50. But what happens is...
Go on.
What happens is, right, they get these calls on them, and our team is that fragile that they can't keep going with it. Like, you know what I mean? They drop their heads, and that's it. Game's done. You know what I mean? And
there's only two players in Port to actually get over 20 disposals. It was Wines and Power Pepper.
Yeah, I know.
No one else got to 20.
It
was unbelievable.
They had a tag on Dacos for the first 10 minutes. Why take the tag off? Fucking, he's the most dangerous player on that side. Yeah. Tag the shit out of him, mate. Don't fucking leave his ass.
Best on ground. He got 21 kicks and two goals. He got more kicks
because they weren't tagging him.
More kicks than any other Port player got in possessions. So,
no, man,
it was a touch up for sure, man. Huge touch up.
And if they think
they're going to do this to a lot of teams this year, they're Collingwood are like the word here in Victoria is that they are like just a step above the rest, and they are going to just demolish. They're going to come out and demolish teams this year, and I wouldn't be surprised. Like I watched them last year at the back end of last year, and they seem to be able to like go harder in the last quarter as well. So once they've even got you to the sword, they'll even like destroy you even more. That's sort of the attitude that they've got, and this year with this coach, far out.
If they had beat Collingwood, Geelong in that was the prelim last year, they would have gone on beat Sydney, I reckon, 100%.
Oh, 100%. They would have been, and they would have gone on this year to win another one. Like, imagine playing them Like, if I was Port Adelaide, right, and we made a grand final this year, just say we made it, I would be scared to play Collingwood at the MCG. Shitting much. Because if that happens at a grand final, that's fucking 2007 all over again then. And you just don't want that. So I'd rather not make a grand final and play them. Because I can just see it, man. Like if they're going to be playing at the MCG, like they play 18 times at the MCG, it's ridiculous. Like it's so unfair, right? So they play that ground perfectly, right? And if you get them at the MCG on grand final day, fucking watch out, man. Unless they get injuries, they are the best team right now. And no one's close. No team's close.
And the crowd support that they get at the MCG and the noise that they make. I've been to the game, and it's like not frightening, but it's like just unbelievable. It can like get them going so much more. Once they get on that roll, the crowd just starts to roll with them, and mate, it's just like a well-oiled machine. So yeah,
I tell you what, Collingwood Carlton game. That's when that comes around. That's going to be a great matchup.
It will be.
It will be. But like all I'm saying is, guys, they're the benchmark now, right? And as I said,
is it that early to say it though, or we're
mate, they like.
No, I think so.
I watched pretty much every game this round, and no one played better than Collingwood. Like the way they move the ball, the way they score, and every time it goes in. I mean, we were bad, but they made us look bad as well. So, and we're not. I mean, we came off a 50-point thrashing to Brisbane, and Brisbane are not a bad team. So, like, we came to play, and we just couldn't keep up with them. They were that good.
But I wouldn't use this game as a to write your team off this year. Like,
I'm not writing my team off. I'm just saying that 50 plus negative contested possessions.
Yeah,
that's a disgrace. That is a disgrace, and that's why I'm pissed off. I think I didn't tip us anyway. I knew we were going to lose, but I thought it was going to be a tough battle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not get smashed like that. Like it's ridiculous, man. And then and then they want to wear the prison bars next week. Like you don't deserve to wear the prison bars next week if you play like that. No, I'm telling you, man, they don't deserve it. They don't deserve to wear them. They should not wear them next week. They should not wear them after that performance.
Well, should we move on to the next Adelaide Hess?
Yep.
Oi, next week, I've told you, Hess versus Hess. That's what it is.
The Hess showdown.
Oh, wait, I forgot to bring it up. Did I bring this up? 135 to 64. There we go. See, I was too fired up about it. But yeah. All right, so the next was the Tigers versus the Crows. This was another Hess in the making. 76 to 108. Johnny G. You watched the game all. What went wrong again for the Crows?
I think Jimmy T going there stuffed us up.
That's a big factor.
You should just have a picture of Jimmy T's face on the board, just saying, just on the board saying, "Sorry guys, we're losing tonight."
Sorry about that.
No, but he's right as well. We can't string a 4-quarter game. That's the problem. We actually in the third quarter we came raging back to get it to I don't know. I think it was like 7 points or something. And then like a light switch, we just turned off, and it was all Richmond, and they kicked away. I think we're still too young at the moment. Well, I reckon we'll get better as the season goes on. But Richmond were too good on the day. Laird had a great game, but so did Taranto. But a lot of the other Crows didn't really turn up. Fogarty kicked 3 goals. Walker kicked a couple. I think Rochelle looks really good in the midfield. I do like Rochelle in the midfield. But yeah, the Crows are just missing a few key players. And
wasn't there a guy
It's still early days. But look, I expect Richmond to have a really good year. It's a hard game for us. Richmond play pretty good down here. So, yeah, I was hoping the Crows would win this one, but I did tip Richmond in the end. So.
So
Richmond get the chocolates.
there was a player that came in and he got like 27 touches for the Crows. He played pretty well, didn't he?
Shoal.
Yeah, he played.
Shoal didn't feature much last year, but is a great kick and he's a really good. But he's just not hard enough for me. You know what I mean? He's just not. How many
Okay.
tackles?
What is
He actually
he?
got four. He got 4 tackles. That's more than he usually gets. Like I normally see Shoal maybe have 1 or 2 tackles.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
yeah, you know what I mean. I don't know.
KP reckons, nothing to do with Nick's being our coach at all, Jimmy. That's all. And he goes, John Tip, John Richmond, arc survival of the fittest now. And Don't At Me reckons Crows just play for their checks. Crows can't kick. They are practicing. King of the North. What do you reckon the Crows, man? Do you think they're going to bounce back next week in the showdown? Do you think Richmond really was a good test for them, or?
I think they are. I think Richmond. I've seen Richmond as well this year, and they're very good defensively. They come fast out of their back end, and if you don't stop them halfway down the field, then they are getting that ball down into their goal, into their forward line very quickly, and they can score fast.
Yeah.
So you've just got to be able to stop them halfway down the field to be able to stop that run because they do back each other up. But I think Adelaide's got very good potential because they're like you say, they're young and they've just got to get it together. There's a couple of teams. St Kilda's another one that I've seen who are very young, but they got it together this weekend. So. I think Adelaide's very similar to that, where they've got to just gel together as a team. And Richmond's up there with Richmond's top 4, I reckon, this year, and they can take on Collingwood.
Well, they got Collingwood this week, so
yeah, that's going to be a cracker. And
that Rioli, like you said about the half back line, Coffee, that Rioli and Baker coming off that half back line look really dangerous.
So fast.
Yeah, how good's Rioli on the half back line, man? Really good. Really good.
Yep.
Really good. We've got someone new in the chat, Fidget 1764. I'm a Freo fan tipping West Coast. There you go. So not just you, Johnny G. Not just you, not just me as well. Don't worry.
We'll get to the Freo game. There was some controversy there as well.
Everyone's just paying out. Knicks. Do you reckon it's over for Knicks, or do we give him a few more weeks?
If he's not knocking on the door of the top 8 this year, I think the change has to happen. I didn't realize it's his 4th year. Is it 4th or 5th?
Nah, it's his 4th year as coach.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think if he's not, on the door frame of the top 8, and he's way below, like in the 16th, the 15th.
Yeah.
Downwards, I think we have to cut our losses,
Might have to cut our losses, So, I doubt, I don't think you're going to get rid of him this year, though. I think we'll turn it around. I think we'll go on a little bit of a run, but...
I
mean, Don't At Me reckons 4th, but I don't know.
100%.
It was a much better effort this week than round 1. So, They got blown away on round 1, but they've come back. Coming back in the last quarter was good.
Oh no, round 1 they did all right. It's just like that second quarter, that second half, they just they can't. What I see with the Crows is the fitness. Like they just can't go a full 4 quarters, and that's the problem. So they're still going to be dangerous. So next week when we play them, I'm not confident at all. After what I saw from Port, so bring on the showdown, I'll tell you. It's quickly, West Coast will smash Freo by 50 points, Fidget reckons. Jeez, okay. It's a big call.
He's not happy about Freo.
Malcolm Blight, I don't know what he's talking, GT23 talking about. He ain't knocking on the door. That's what KP reckons. 100% GT, bring back the hot coals. Remember when they used to work on the hot coals? The Crows? Do you remember that? Yeah, I think Malcolm Blight got him to walk on the coals. Remember when they lost?
Malcolm Blight. What a ruthless play.
I hope Fidget, but I'm not tipping the Eagles yet. Yeah, so I tipped the Eagles today. KP is going well with the tips. And Device, it was crazy with the power cut. It was crazy with the power cut. Which game? The MCG? That was crazy. And then Sydney Swans are coming first on the AFL ladder. Zakal very happy. Anyway, guys, look. Any more for the Crows?
Nah.
You happy with that? Move on. All right. So the next game was the Saints. No, Saints versus the Dogs. This was a big surprise. I tipped the Dogs, but they disappointed me yet again. St Kilda, Ross Lyons got them purring perfectly.
See, this is where I blame you in the tips. I listened to you with this one with the whole Bulldogs. Yes, I should have listened to my gut and went Saints. I was thinking Saints the whole time. And the bloody Dogs, man. I said the Dogs. I said the Dogs were shit this year, and they're proving me right. There's something big missing in the Dogs.
There is.
You got to give St Kilda credit. Their ball movement, their defense. Ross Lyon has got him playing the way he wants to play. So,
they're all over him.
And they're all over him. I think Ross Lyon's done really well with what he's got because he hasn't got much. He's missing a lot of players. I think Jack Steele got injured as well, so he won't be with them.
Still got three out that have got to come back, but the young blokes are going to keep them out of getting back in as well. So but very impressive to get 30 in front of the Dogs early. Then it was pretty much shut the gate once that was, and they're playing a good brand of footy too.
And we've got to remember the Saints are missing a lot of players through injury.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They've got 5 debutants playing in the team. So they're firing.
Yeah, I didn't watch that game, but not all. I saw snippets, but they look really good, man. The way they move the ball, and
they suffocated the Bulldogs, man.
I was actually watching the Freo game, but it was good on St Kilda. I actually thought St Kilda were gonna not even, I didn't think they were gonna win the first 2 games. That's for sure. So to be 2-0.
Philippou is becoming a cult hero already down there.
He is, yeah.
He is. He's cousins with KP. No, I don't think so. But
and it was interesting. It was interesting at the end of the game. They interviewed the coach, and even the press were saying your players aren't fit enough. They're not fit enough, and they're not fast enough. So to say that in round 2, it's a real concern.
Yeah, I mean McRae
McRae
looked really slow. Even Bontempelli looked really slow. And
he did, man. They all look slow, and like St Kilda, the way they move the ball and their defense. As I said, Ross has got them playing great. He's a ruthless coach. It looks like they've all bought into his plan, and they're reaping the benefits. Now, do I think they're going to finish top 8? Look, I don't think so, but a lot of confidence, with the lists going forward in the next few years, what he can do with it. So, it's interesting, man. St Kilda is a very interesting one. Very interesting. I wouldn't
bit of a dark horse.
Yeah, bit of a dark horse. That if they play like they're playing, you just never know, man. And they've got all these guns coming back, but Jack Steele, I think, is out. I think he got injured, so
that's a big loss.
That's a big loss. So I think he's out for 4 weeks. So
you still thinking Bulldogs for top 8?
I don't think so. Not the way they're playing, unless they can. I mean, it's only round 2, but just don't know. I mean, they've lost.
It's like Goffey said. The preparation looks like it's not there at all.
Yeah, definitely not top 4. Definitely not top 4. But I mean, they've lost a lot too, man. They've lost a few players too. So
yeah.
I don't know.
If Bontempelli is going to be the one that has to save them every week, then they're not going to do well.
I think they're using Bruce down back. Is that right? They're using Bruce down back.
We got 17 posies and 10 marks. So I think so. He played down back. He ain't getting 10 marks. He ain't getting 10 marks down in the forward line of not kicking a goal.
Yeah, so having him back there is really weird. Because they're missing a few players, they've had to rearrange their team. So look, I don't know. Wait till all the players come back. If they can come back healthy and they can regroup, they might have a chance to go in the 8. But at the moment, it's looking very slim. Very slim. But,
Yeah.
And,
Moving
well
on.
done. Congrats to the Saints. The next game was... Now, this game I did watch. And it was a very controversial finish. Freo versus the North Melbourne Kangaroos. 72-73. 1 point winners to North Melbourne. What a game it was. North Melbourne deserved to win that game. I watched the game. They were all over him. Freo did come back at the end. You can excuse North Melbourne for that. They're a young team, so they're finding it hard. They're finding it hard to run out games. But yeah, Freo just looked shit. Like,
So I didn't watch this game, but what did happen at the end? Someone please explain.
So
With this
so North Melbourne got up to a 20-point lead for about 8 minutes to go, and then Freo came back with 3 goals, and they were like 1 point in it. And when it was 1 point, that ball was in the Freo forward 50 like the whole time, and they were trying to get a point or a goal, and there was a few stoppages. A few out of bounds, deliberate out of bounds. And there was a ball that was kicked into the 50, and the clock was winding down to finish the whole game. And so the guy kicked it into the 50. The big pack of players went up. Ball drops at the back. I think that youngster grabbed it. Zip, what's his name? Shezel. He kicked it towards the boundary. The ball, what I saw, went over the boundary line, and then the siren went.
The siren went. That's right.
Now, to me, that means that's
out on the floor.
Yeah, no, not out on the full, but a deliberate.
No, just out of bounds.
But it was deliberate, 100% deliberate.
No players around. It was just a deliberate.
100%
Yeah,
deliberate.
just a deliberate kick out of bounds. But if you're looking at the clock ticked down to 0 as before the ball went over the boundary.
Did it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I watched it and I'm like...
It hit 0, and then like a couple of seconds later, the siren went. So...
Yeah.
Did they look at it on the replay, like look it out?
No, he just called it. He just called it. The umpire said that the siren went before the ball crossed the line as well. But on TV, I swear to you, Goffy, I swear.
Oh yeah, I agree with you.
That it went off. It went off after.
The siren went off after it went over the touchline.
So like
was the umpire going to call it? Was the umpire going to call it deliberate though?
They were about to. They were, and then the field umpire came and he said, "Nah, it's finished." So
because they kicked two kicks before, they kicked intentional on the other side of the field, and that was given. So they kicked it out, and then it got into like right at the goal line, and then he's kicked it out again on purpose, intentional, and then it's the decision whether it's gone out or not. So
I reckon Freo are screwed. I reckon they got screwed.
They got ripped off.
If you go by the siren, like I agree with you, Chris. If you go by the siren that we heard on the telly, the ball was out of bounds, and it should have.
They should have given a free kick.
Should have been a free kick. Yeah.
But like you mentioned before, North deserved the win.
Look, Freo shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. So if I was a Freo supporter, that's not what cost you the game. What cost you the game was just shit play during the game. That's what cost you the game. Now, you can say, "Oh, we could have won it," but like, you didn't win it. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The way footy works, once the umpire's made the call, he's not going to reverse it. Very rare. I've never seen it happen. So, umpire's call. That's it. You gotta accept it and move on. So, look, bad luck at that moment. That's a. Hey.
He's actually lucky. They're actually lucky they got out of the stadium and out of Perth. To be honest, the umpires. So.
So it's a bad loss for Freo.
What's happened to Nat Fyfe? Nat Fyfe, has he just dropped or is he injured?
No, he's there.
What was his
He was
stats?
playing.
Did he
What was-
play?
What was his
Yeah.
stats, Johnny? You got any
I
stats there?
can't see Foss play.
Did
I
he get
looked
Yeah,
dropped?
no, he was there. He was definitely there. But I watched the week before this game against them and St Kilda at Marvel, and he's not doing much at all. He doesn't do much at all. He just hangs around the forward line, hangs around the midfield. Sort of doesn't have too much impact. Didn't have too much impact. So I don't know whether it was the same this game
Can't
as
see
well.
Foss
But
on the ground.
Maybe Fife didn't play. Did Fife play?
I thought I seen him at the end.
No, I can't see him anywhere.
I can't remember
Maybe he
seeing.
didn't.
Maybe he didn't play. I can't remember the ins and outs of that game.
No, Sarong and Aish did very well for Pozzi. Same with Davis Uniac again. And Sheasel got 30 disposals again.
Yeah, I mean the kid's a gun, man. I mean, let's talk about North Melbourne. How good, like when you play.
Larky kicked 4 for North.
Yeah, I mean, look, man. Like if you're going to play in North Melbourne, especially at Etihad Marvel, it's not going to be an easy game, man. They've got some guns in there now. So
Mm.
The
you
Alice
know,
Clarkson effect.
hey, yeah. So definitely good on North Melbourne. Good on them.
Yeah.
I'm happy for them, to tell the truth. And KP reckons that that thing, the bad decision that happened at the game, that was the Mandela effect.
At least you believe in the Mandela effect, KP.
North making the 8, you reckon, lads?
Look, I don't think they'll make the 8, but they're gonna face really tough opposition coming up. But
If North make the 8, is Clarko manager of the year?
100%.
Oh, for sure. If
100%.
they made the top 12, I reckon, if they got like to 12th or above, he should be coach of the year.
He should be coach of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's.
Big statement, isn't it?
I like how he's down the boundary, like teaching them and egging them on. So good on. It's nice to see that a shit team that's been so shit for long, progressing. So
we should have sacked Nix and hired Clarko this year. But anyway, moving on.
So the next game after that controversial, it was this was today's game. The Swans versus the Hawks. I watched this game today. Pretty easy
Was it a boring
game.
watch?
Yeah, I mean the Swan. I mean Hawks. The Hawks did all right in the beginning. I saw them play. They got the ball, but they just kept turning it over. There was just a lot of mistakes, a lot of squarers. They're a work in progress. No one's expecting the Hawthorn to win. Do you know what I mean? So they're gonna be down the bottom for a while. What can I say? Sydney were just Sydney. They were just coasting. There was one guy that kicked. Oh, what's his name up front? I can't remember his name.
There's Amity and McDonald.
Amity, yeah. Yeah, he kicked a few goals because Franklin wasn't in. Yeah, they just looked the better side. Not really much to say. You can't really gauge Sydney on this win either because you're just playing Hawthorn. So they've had it so easy, man. They lost the grand final and they're playing the worst teams up, like first up. It's like, boy, like you know what I mean? Like,
I know some people got it easy, man.
Got it so easy, man. So, Sydney are still going well, but they haven't been tested. So,
yeah, we don't know where they're at yet, really.
Nah, I can't tell you. So that game, yeah, and as I said, the Hawks are just the Hawks. They're not going to get anywhere. They're just getting runs into the legs, and that's it, man. There's not much you can do.
Yeah.
So we're still thinking wooden spooners for the Hawks.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, and Swans. Look, as I said, we don't know exactly where they're going to finish. I think top 8, but we'll see what happens. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see when
Poor
they.
Hawk.
Yeah,
Poor
I kind of feel sorry for them, but they were on top for a long time.
They were.
They were. G, don't feel sorry for them.
They were actually one of the good. They were actually one of the really good dynasty teams of late.
They were.
They were good. They were. But the next game was after that. I watched some of this game. It was pretty competitive all day. The Bombers versus the Suns. The Bombers did get up.
It sounded really exciting, this game on the radio today. So
Very good game.
Yeah, the Bombers got up by 28 points at the end. It was a tough battle all day. The Gold Coast really gave it to them. They were only like a point behind at 3/4 time. So they were did well.
How did Kyle Langford kick 5 goals for the Bombers? Is he playing up front now, or has just got a lucky day from the wing position?
Who? Sorry.
Kyle Langford from Essendon.
Yeah, he was up forward. So
they've moved him up forward.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they'll move up forward a few goals.
Because 2 meter Peter's not playing at the moment. So
no. So James T. Chesser replacement. I already have Ginby, McKenna, and Constable. Chesser replacement. I think he's talking about Supercoach.
Yeah, West Coast player Chesser.
Who do you reckon you can? He's asking who should we replace him with. I don't know.
Why did Chesser get injured or something? Did he?
He must have. I don't know. Gimby's good. McKenna, Constable, yeah. But
have we misjudged the Bombers this year, lads?
I don't think so. I still think they're Hess. but against those lower teams, I think they'll do well. Against the good teams, I think they'll get found out. Gold Coast were with them all the way until the last quarter, so
they do a good job of letting their supporters down. So we'll just have to see how they go.
I just don't think they're gonna. I just don't think they're gonna make the 8. I just think they're like a 10th to maybe 15th side this year. But look, I don't know. Like time will tell, but we'll see. I just don't think they're as good as the top teams.
Beating Hawthorn and then beating Gold Coast, it's hard to measure up in that.
It is. It is. Yeah. We'll see. Like after round 5 or round 6, we'll get a better gauge. But the Suns, the Suns were not too bad. What do you think of the Suns?
Exciting at times on the radio. Like they got a few on the trot. I don't think they ever led against the Bombers, but they pushed them all the way until the end.
They did.
I don't know. Just Gold Coast are that problem team for the AFL. They're never really going to be up there, are they? You don't feel like there's a premiership anywhere near for Gold Coast. You know what I mean?
No. They got some prop there. Yeah, I don't know. I think didn't they have the big guy back? They had what's his name? Not Max King. Ben King was up there today.
Did he? I don't know if he kicked he kicked a couple today.
Yeah, so he's good for them. And there's a few other players like Took Miller was good for them.
Yeah,
but they're not. I don't know, man. There's something not right about them.
They're sort of stuck like in where they are. They're not getting better.
Yeah, that's right. So I feel sorry for Stewie Jude. It's a hard gig, man. But
tough gig.
You know what's hard, man? Like those clubs, like everyone just leaves. They lost Lynch.
Yeah.
Who was that? They lost a whole lot of players. They lost Rankin. They just keep
losing.
Everyone, man. So you keep losing players. How can you survive, man? You can't survive. So
they're just a feeder club for the rest.
Yeah. So Gold Coast. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll monitor them closely and see what happens. And also the last game of the round that just finished about an hour ago. Eagles versus GWS. The Eagles actually won by 19 points. See, I was getting everything ready when this game was on, so I didn't see the ending. But yeah, the GWS came back a little bit at the end, which was good to see. But I tipped GWS after last week. I should have been smarter and went Eagles at home. But Tim Kelly, mate. Tim Kelly was on fire today.
Yeah, he's been quiet, hasn't he, for a year and a half, hasn't he? So 32 posies and a goal. Probably got man of the match, I'd say. But yeah, West Coast, they're going to do better than last year, aren't they? They're going to get more wins at home. And I can't say they're an 8 side, but they're going to improve from last year for sure.
They they played better like against North Melbourne near the end. They could have pinched that game last week, so they weren't as bad as they were the year before. So they're going to definitely win more games than they lose than they lost last year. So
Yeah.
yeah, they've still got
And
some gun players.
that form line shows a little bit stronger now. That North Melbourne West Coast game shows a little bit stronger now that the Kangaroos have beaten Fremantle as well. So yeah, that's doesn't go well for the other team, but yeah, West Coast at home is always going to have a bit of an advantage. Plus you know what it's like, Chris, when we're in Perth, like the supporters and the management are just going to hound West
100%.
Coast, and the media is just going to be behind West Coast at home all the time. So
yeah, well, I was listening to the Triple M call on the way back from work, and they just were loving West Coast. But
yeah,
look, yeah, they got some good players. That's not, they still got some. Their list is not too bad. Some of their lists, so
yeah.
they've still got Shuey. Who else they got in the middle?
They just need these old guys to bring in these new guys. You know what I mean? Teach them
Yeah,
and
Oscar Allen up forward is doing well. He's got Darling up there. Shannon Hearns at the back. So I think Yo's still out. When he comes back in, he'll be another addition. Jones was really good off the half back today. What I saw, he was giving him a lot of thrust from the back half. GWS, they didn't look as dangerous as they did last week. Jesse Hogan looked good. That's about it, really. They didn't have as many chances this time, but yeah, they normally don't play well in Perth. So yeah. But hey, what can you do, man?
It's a long trip.
Interesting round. I think I only got 4 out of 8 myself. But.
I got 5. GT23 goes flag for the Eagles. He's on drugs.
100%.
He's on drugs. And
A true West Coast supporter.
Fidget 1764 goes failed mantle. Not Hess mantle, failed mantle. There we go.
I like it. All
right.
Failed
So Fidget, we do this show every week. So if you want to subscribe to our channel, please subscribe. But we actually call things Hess. Hess means shit. So if you ever see us say that, I'll write it in the chat. Ready? If you ever see this,
#yes.
#Hess. All right. So we'll call it Hess mantle.
Yes, mental.
Yes, mental.
Okay, so that's what they are at the moment. All right, and I'm sorry about that, but don't worry. There's a lot of Hess, like the West Coast, the West Hess, the Hess Coast Eagles.
The West Coast Eagles.
Yeah, there's a few. So Hess Eagles, yeah, there you go. But anyway, it was a good round. I mean, I wasn't too happy, but what can you do, man? Footy's footy. You had a really good look. Everyone would do the footy tipping. If you ever want to see a footy tipping, it's at that address. And Mr. King of the North, he's on top of the ladder. There you go, guys. King of the North, 69.
Very cool.
69 is his favorite number, guys. So he got 6. So he's on top with 12 points. You got Kenny from Campbelltown, I think it means 11. You got a few on 11, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 people on 11. You got a few on 10. Hfd FC at 10, far out. You're smashing me.
I'm on 10 as well there, so
not too far more. All right, so I'm not 10. GT23, he's on 10 as well.
GT.
What else? Let me see the other page. So we go to the other page where I am, and don't at me. And then we got Cryptopolis up the top with 9. Team Thos with 9. You got 9, not 10. What are you talking about?
Oh, really? 6 and then 4.
No, you got 3.
You got 3?
Jeez.
Unless it hasn't updated. Maybe it hasn't updated because it just happened. So Maybe you have got 10. Don't know why that's happened. Are you sure you got 6 last week?
Yeah.
Just double check, man. No, you got 4. You got 4. There must be a typo somewhere. Anyway, I've moved up the ladder, man. I've gone to 21. I was 23rd before. No, I was 24th before. So I've gone up. I'm happy. KP went up a bit as well. He's on 22.
Yeah, I've definitely got 4. I'm on 10 points.
Yeah. So basically, it must have not updated properly when I was bringing it over. So we do apologise for that, guys. But Wise Guy, which is Dam, he's struggling down the bottom, and so is Wayno. You got the Don at 19th position. Yeah, it's still early days. But congratulations.
Earlier on 7. I love it.
Yeah, it's great news. GT23, where am I? You are. Let me have a look. You are 8th.
GT.
GT.
Equal points with me, brother. Equal points with me. Nice.
Yeah. So.
And the Jazz Man is on 11. Wow.
Well, you know what we forgot to do, guys, is this. Damn, that was wild. Anyway, and before we go to the tipping, we'll just quickly look at the ladder. You got the Swans up the top, guys. Swans at the top. St Kilda is 2nd, Essendon a 3rd, Collingwood a 4th, North Melbourne a 5th, Richmond a 6th, Carlton a 7th, Melbourne at 8th, West Coast a 9th. What the heck? 10th is the GWS. 11th is Port. Of course, we're 11th again. Brisbane a 12th, Fremantle a 13th, and Geelong Cats, Adelaide Crows, Gold Coast Suns, and Western Bulldogs and Hawthorn are all on the bottom. So there you go, guys. There's the ladder for round 2. The ladder doesn't mean much now, but before we go to the games, Hess Eagles, Nick is Hess, Matthew Hess, strutting around King. Where's Jimmy T? Zakawa asks, GT20, where am I? We asked you that. I'm coming 10th. Jimmy T is coming 10th. And GT23 put some chickens up there. So I think he's calling them swans. Anyway, round 3, guys. Look, what we're going to do, we'll do our tips. Now, these can change, subject to change, because the teams aren't out yet. It's very early. So, first game, guys, it is the Dogs versus the Lions on the Thursday night I'm pretty sure it's at Marvel Stadium. What's your tips, boys? What do you reckon of this one?
Go on the Lions.
Yeah, Brisbane for me as well.
Yeah, I'm going to go Brisbane. I think Bulldogs are becoming Hess, so you're going to be too strong.
The Hess Dogs.
All right. Next
Even
one
at,
is...
even at home they're gonna struggle, I reckon.
Yeah, 100%. All right. Now the next game is the big blockbuster between Collingwood and Richmond. What I saw of Collingwood was ridiculous. So I don't think anyone's touching Collingwood. If Collingwood come out and destroy Richmond, it just makes them even more it just emphasises what we've said tonight, how good they are. So I think it's going to be a slacking. Collingwood to take them out by about 50. Collingwood for me.
Wow, 50 points.
Wow, 50 points. That's a big call.
I think it's going to be closer than 50, but I am leaning Collingwood for sure here. So, but less than 50.
We'll see.
Yeah. I'll go Collingwood and probably with under 20.
Okay.
Under 20.
All right, next game is the Hawks versus North Melbourne. Far out. I'm going to go North Melbourne for this one, guys. I think they're a good side. I think they're going to just be too much for the Hawks.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to pick Hawks after the first 2 games of what they've done.
Yeah.
So you got to lean towards North. So it's not often you pick North Melbourne over Hawthorn in recent years, but
well, it's going to be Alistair Clarkson playing against his old side, so it's going to be interesting in that regard. But
it will be.
Yeah, I think North Melbourne for me, guys. North Melbourne will be too strong for them. Way too strong.
Yep, I agree. North for me as well.
All right, next one. This is going to be interesting, but GWS versus Carlton at GWS Stadium in Sydney, or no, Canberra. Is it in Canberra? I think it's in Canberra. I'm going Carlton just because of the form that I've seen, but this is a game that Carlton could drop. They play well over their GWS, so
I can see why you would say that. You know what I mean, I can see your point.
yeah. But I'll still go the Blues. I just think they've got too much star power up forward. But GWS could trouble them. Could. So leaning more Carlton. What do you
Yeah, I
reckon, John?
agree with you. I agree with you, man. 100%. I'm leaning Carlton.
Yeah, me too, Carlton.
All right, next one is the Saints and the Bombers. This is a tough one because they've both played pretty well, but I'm going to lean more the Saints. I think they've actually played more harder opposition than Essendon, and I think you're going to see Essendon's first loss against the Saints. I think it'll be a cracker game, but I think the Saints will take them out. What do you reckon, Johnny?
I love to just sit on the fence on this one, but just to be controversial, I'm going to go to Bombers.
Why though? Why?
I reckon Steele out might be a factor, and with their other injuries, I think the Bombers have got a good chance here, and I reckon this game could go either way here. 10 points in it either way, so I'll go to Bombers.
All right.
I'm going to go the Bombers. I just think that the Bombers are probably a little bit better than St Kilda.
Well, you got to listen to the King of the North. He is on top of the ladder, guys. So
he is. I'm glad he agreed with me. So
you're getting like golden tips here, guys. So make sure you guys listen. All right. All
They
right.
could be subject to change, though, as you said. So.
Subject to change, yeah. All right. So the next game is the biggest game for us for the round. It is
the Hess down.
The Hess down, Port Adelaide versus the Adelaide Crows. I'm gonna get you guys go first, and I'll tell you what I'm gonna do.
We'll go Coffee because he's the most neutral here, really. So
all right.
What do you reckon?
I'm going to go just because I've followed them for so long. I'm going to Port Adelaide. I think they'll come back. I think the Collingwood factor was more than what you realise against Port. They just are too good, and I don't think Port Adelaide are that bad, to be honest. So I'll stick with Port.
No, look, I've got to go to Crows. It's a showdown. It's always 50-50 in these ones, and
you can't back against them.
Yeah, look, my whole heart's saying Crows, but a lot of my mind is actually pointing at Port right now. I think, but look, I'll be tipping Crows. I'll be going all the way with them, and I reckon we've got a good chance.
Look, I'm going to tick Port because you got to tip your own team against showdown. It's 50-50, as Johnny said. Do I think we're a shoo-in to win? No way. I think that we're lost. We're going to be losing Ryan Burton. I just saw the report, 2 weeks suspension. Unless they fight it and win, I doubt they will. They never, I'm not sure they're going to do that. So like his drive off the back line won't be there. Not sure who would replace him. Maybe a Bonner. I don't know. Bonner just pisses me off too much. Look, if they play like they played last week, Crows are really in with a chance.
We need to play 4 quarters to be a chance. You know what I mean?
But if we don't play, man, if we play like we did against, but it's either going to be two tails. We're going to roll you guys and come out like firing, like because we lost last week, and everyone will be revved up to play a good game, or we'll just continue the shit that we did last week. So. Yeah, it's a 50-50 game. I would not be surprised if the Crows did win, but I hope Port wins. I'm going to be tipping Port, but and I'm going to the game as well. So fucking better not let me down. But
All I gotta say is take Jim Farnell with you.
Make sure Father
No.
Jim doesn't go.
Take Jimmy. Go with Chris.
Look, if we can get a hold of you guys in the first quarter and then just keep going like we did with Brisbane, yeah. But I just don't know who we're going to get. So it's going to be a good contest. That's all I know. So
Well, Port were heavy favourites last year in this same fixture. You know what I mean? And we had that
yeah,
goal after the siren.
Yeah.
So that's how close these games can get.
yeah, it's a great rivalry, and I'm looking forward to going because I haven't been to a game in Adelaide Oval for over a year. So it's going to be interesting times. So Port for me, and good luck to all you Crows people in the chat, and you Johnny G. Good luck.
Jimmy said he's going to come with you, man. So
He better
take
not.
Jimmy.
Jimmy, you're not coming, man. You know what? If you got someone with that you can go with that's a Crow supporter, that's different. You can go. Just don't come with a Port supporter.
Jimmy, get in the same car there. Go with him.
All right, the next game is the Suns and the Cats at Metricon. I think this is a pretty easy one. I'm going to go Cats. They're just too good for the Suns. I think they're going to bounce back and just destroy them. Yeah.
It's hard to pick the Suns, even with Cats playing yes at the moment. But that Metricon, you never know, do you? This could be an upset. It could really be an upset.
If Geelong loses his game, that'll be the worst start. Like zip and 3. That's pretty bad. So,
look, I'm going to tip Geelong, but I'll tell you what, I'm not that confident, but I'm tipping Geelong.
Jimmy T reckons he wants to eat hot dogs, get caught eating hot dogs again in the crowd. We took a picture once and we ate hot dogs.
I remember that well. Yeah.
Jimmy T.
Eat the hot dogs there.
Oh my god! All right, so what do you reckon, Chris? Cats for that one?
Yeah, I'm going to go Gold Coast.
Gold Coast.
A little message to the coach: tag Cameron, and you'll win the game.
Hey, there you go.
I like
Cameron
it. I like it.
They got to stop Cameron. He can kick him from anywhere. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't think this is a nailed-on win for Geelong, man. They're going to have to fight tooth and nail against the Suns at Metricon.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. But this is a game that can play them into form as well. So we'll see because they're out of form. All right, next one. Jimmy T goes, out of 50,000 people, they zoom in on us. Eating hot dogs. All right, next game is this is going to be an interesting game. The Melbourne Demons versus the Sydney Swans. Sorry, you can't see the logo too good of the Sydney Swans, but yeah. So Melbourne versus Sydney. What's your gut feel here, man? I reckon.
Tough game.
No Gawn, no Cozzy Pickett still. It's at the MCG, I think. I'm pretty sure it is.
It could be.
Yeah, this
it
is
could
a
be
tough
at
one.
the end. Is it at the MCG or the SCG?
Nah, it's at Melbourne.
It's in Melbourne, yeah.
First, yeah.
I don't know, guys. This is a flip of the coin, I reckon. It's gonna really test Sydney out, that's for sure. But I'm gonna go for now until I see the team. I'm gonna get Melbourne just for now, just for the home advantage. But that could change because I still don't like him without Gawn or Cozzy Pickett. So did not like what I saw last week. So and Sydney's
I'm gonna go Sydney for now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Sydney as well. Gawn's a big out.
And Pickett, yeah, they're just like you said on the watch along. Gawn is the heart and soul of that team.
Yeah, they are 100%.
Mm-hmm.
GT23 reckons the Demons. So, all right, the last game of the round is the Derby in Perth. It's the Dockers versus the Eagles. It's a Dockers home game.
I'm dying to watch that game.
So the Hess Mantle versus Hess Coast. You got a lot of Hess happening this weekend, eh? A lot of Hess.
This is a must-win game for Fremantle now. If they
Huge.
everyone talks them up at the finals, jeez.
Well,
That's right.
West Coast looked pretty good today, so they could definitely beat it. But I'm gonna go West Coast.
Whose home crowd is it?
Frios.
Freo.
I'm gonna go Freo.
Yeah, I'm not confident with Frio at all.
I'm not confident at all.
I'm gonna go West Coast. I think.
I'm going to go West Coast.
Yeah, I think, and GT23 goes fail mantle.
Fail mantle.
Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
So yeah, that's the games, guys. So we will be maybe doing a watch along on Friday with what is it, Pies versus Tigers. That'll be a good watch along. But yeah, it was a good round of footy. Don't forget, Johnny G is going to be back doing the 10K in 10 bets. Sorry we couldn't get past bet 1, but as you can see, he's still going to do it, aren't you, Johnny? Are you still gonna try? We're still going to try.
We're gonna have another crack. Another crack.
We're gonna keep going. We can't let the fans down, you know. So 10K and 10 bets. Follow us on TikTok when you see the videos come out. You would have seen some videos come out last week, so it'll be similar kind of format. And yeah, so that's happening. And also Wednesday, guys, don't forget we are interviewing George Rags, Adelaide TikToker. He's doing an interview with us in the studio live. It's gonna be an interesting chat with him. So make sure on Wednesday you guys tune in for that one. And guys, that, my friends. Oh, and don't forget, if you're brand new to the channel, please give us a subscribe because it means a lot to us. And make sure you like the video. Like the video. I know GT23 hasn't liked it yet. So, and also,
and hit the notification bell.
And also, check out our merch, our merchandise, our hats, our mugs, our hoodies, our t-shirts. Go check it out, hfdmerch.myspreadshop.com.au for all your HFD merch. Guys, thank you so much for coming in tonight. It was a good night. It was a good night, good round of footy, even though our team's lost. I mean, not King of the North. Well done, King of the North, for the footy tipping.
Thanks.
Let's hunt King of the North down, lads. All right.
And
right, come after me.
And you know what? The next HFD footy show that we do next week, that's going to be a real tough one because one of us will be crying from losing in the showdown. So
can we promise to be gentle to each other?
You know what?
Yeah,
I'll tell you this, right? If let's make a bet, right? If Port win, you have to wear something Port on you.
No, I can't do that. It's wrong bet.
Come on. If Crows win, I'll wear a Crows Guernsey.
I don't even have anything Port, man. So wait, what are you going to give me one of your Guernseys?
No, I'll give you a scarf.
All right. So what's the bet? If Port win, I got to wear a scarf. If Crows win, you got to wear a scarf.
Yeah, but you have to give me your scarf because I haven't got one.
All right,
done.
Bet's on.
Bet's on next week, guys. So you'll see me with a Crow scarf if Crows win, or you see Johnny with a Port scarf if Port win. So
my son's going to grow up and watch these videos and see me wearing a Port scarf if we lose. It's going to be disgraceful.
So confused.
Well, Chris looks good with his blue scarf over there. So
that's right. I'll be back with the Blues.
Shout out to everyone in the chat. Thanks for coming in. Everyone that's new, thanks for coming in again. And guys, we will see you on the next one. Take care. Spike your hair. Stay hunky. Coffee. Johnny G. Take care. Goodbye, my friends.
See you guys.